Here is your latest African news. Africa-wide, aviation stakeholders mull over high cost of air travel in Africa. African aviation industry seeks ways to recover over $6 billion in losses due to the COVID pandemic. At a webinar organized by the African Aviation Industry Group, under the theme, Achieving Affordable Air Transport Across Africa, the industry experts said that high airfare costs result from a convergence of multiple factors that include the cost of goods sold, intermediary costs, government taxes, regulatory charges, time of purchase, and costs related to the original equipment manufacturers. They also identified safety and security concerns, poor intra-African connectivity, market access limitations, and inadequate infrastructure as some of the challenges facing the industry. Algeria cancels France24 license. Algeria's Ministry of Communications says that the accreditation of the France24 network has been cancelled. The move comes a day after parliamentary elections were held in Algeria. A government spokesman said that the French international television news channel had shown a clear and repeated hostility towards Algeria and its institutions. The turnout for the elections was registered at around 30%, the lowest for 2 decades. Official results are due in the coming days, but the Islamist MSP has claimed that its candidates are leading in most regions. South Africa, private consortium takes over SAA with 51% stake and government holding 49%. South African Airways will now be 51% owned by a private consortium, Public Enterprises. The government has agreed that the financial partner will hold 51% of the shares and the government will hold 49%. The gov't consortium consists of the Pan-African Investor Group, Harith Global Partners, and Aviation Group Global Aviation. Africa's second largest airline was placed on a safeguard plan in December 2019 to avoid bankruptcy. In April, the independent administrators in charge of its restructuring declared SAA solvent once again. Nigeria, Twitter boss posts Nigerian flag as protests are held. Twitter boss Jack Dorsey has tweeted the Nigerian flag in what local media have interpreted to be support for the Saturday protests against poor governance and the suspension of the microblogging platform. Mr. Dorsey's tweet attracted comments from Nigerians who are using virtual private networks, VPNs, to access the app. Police fired tear gas at the protesters and several were arrested, according to local media. Saturday's protests were the first since the hashtag #EndSARS against police brutality that went on for weeks. Tanzania, elephant buffalo populations on the rise in the Serengeti National Park. Elephant populations in Serengeti National Park has increased from 6,000 in 2014 to more than 7,000 in 2020, according to the Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute. The government in recent years aimed at protecting elephants against poaching for ivory business. The population of buffaloes in Africa Best Park also rose from over 50,000 to 60,000 during the same period. Efficient security measures that had been intensified across the country's second largest national park had greatly contributed to the increasing number of elephants, buffaloes, and other wild animals. Mali in transitional government restores ousted Camara as defense minister. Mali's transitional government announced on Friday it had restored Colonel Stadio Camara as defense minister after his removal from office was one of the factors that led to a coup that toppled President Bandao last month. Camara was one of the leaders of an earlier coup in August last year that ousted then President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta. The appointment of the new government could ease tensions with Mali's partners and regional leaders who, along with military allies, want the transitional government to press on with elections planned for February next year. Zimbabwean novelist Tsitsi Dangarembga awarded Pinter Prize 2021. Established in 2019 in honor of Nobel laureate playwright Harold Pinter, the PEN Pinter Prize is an annual award which is given to a writer who shows a fierce intellectual determination to define the real truth of our lives and our societies. This year, the PEN Pinter Prize 2021 was awarded to Zimbabwean writer Tsitsi Dangarembga for charting the development of Zimbabwe from a British colony to an autocratic and troubled free state through her writing career of 30 years. Ethiopia. Ethiopia agrees to suspend MIDROC gold mining after protests. In what could be seen a victory for protesters, suspension order was issued for MIDROC's Lagedembe gold mining permit until further in-depth study is conducted by independent body. The Ethiopian Ministry of Mines, Petroleum and Natural Gas announced that the permit has been revoked effective from Saturday following grievances from the local residents. The move at least temporarily halts operations by Mohammed International Development Research and Organization Companies, or MIDROC, at a state near the town of Shakiso and the Lega-Dembe River. The ministry spokesman promised an independent investigation into MIDROC and said operations would resume if and when all stakeholders agree on the results of that investigation. Thank you so much for watching. Visit our YouTube channel, Tunacheki, to watch our weekly news reports and our website at tunacheki.tv for all the latest African news updates. You can directly support this new series by becoming our YouTube member or becoming a patron. And remember, Africa is watching. And please feel free to leave your suggestions, news tips, or topics about Africa that you'd like us to explore.